On a quiet corner of a suburban street in Charleston, South Carolina, from one of the wooden windows of a modest white bungalow, a young dreamer watched the world go by. There was something about that girl that inexplicably captivated him. From the glass of his small bedroom, where dust and aspirations mingled in the air, Ethan Parker, just 17 years old, observed a young woman every day at the same time, dressed in her school uniform. Little did she know, her name was Emily Thompson. With little more than dreams in his pockets and grand hopes of becoming a successful professional, Ethan watched from his humble corner, never once being noticed by her. Emily, only 15 years old, walked with her head slightly bowed, her long, dark hair cascading like a waterfall over her slender shoulders, while her gentle steps echoed through the quiet neighborhood streets. Her pale skin and the melancholy she radiated seemed to envelop her in an aura of mystery, something Ethan couldn't fully comprehend. He felt a connection that, without explanation, wove itself deep within his soul each time he saw her pass by. He knew she didn't see him, didn't even know his name, but in the silence of those furtive observations, Ethan felt his spirit resonate with something greater, something beyond words. How could a stranger evoke such stillness in someone else's inner chaos, he often wondered. In those moments, a certainty would wash over him. If the truly important things in life are never experienced up close, but rather observed from afar, from a window like his, he mused. Perhaps love wasn't the fiery passion of immediate desires, but the subtle flame that grows in silence, a tenderness that springs from the depths without the need for words or closeness. Ethan understood it without fully grasping it, as if those inexplicable feelings were his way of learning that not all human connections require physical contact or mutual knowledge. Maybe fate, in some way we don't understand, already ties us to people even before we fully cross their paths, he thought. As he watched Emily walk away, Ethan couldn't help but feel that she wasn't just another figure in his youth, but a representation of something more transcendent. The silent beauty, the poetry hidden in the everyday, the unfathomable mystery of life. Perhaps she didn't know that by walking down that street she was painting a picture in him with colors that would never fade. And even though she would never see him, even though she'd never know who he was, a part of him would always remain in the reflection of her shadow. Ethan's life was nothing more than a blank canvas waiting to be painted, and at the center of that first sketch was Emily, like the first subtle stroke that would give meaning to everything else. Maybe she would never see him, but her presence had outlined the contours of his soul. With that realization, Ethan looked at her each day with a different kind of calm, knowing that, in silence, his heart was writing a chapter that life hadn't yet allowed him to fully read. As the weeks turned into months, Ethan delved deeper into his studies, channeling his unspoken emotions into his art. His passion for design blossomed into a successful career in graphic design, allowing him to blend creativity with precision. Yet, despite his professional achievements, the memory of Emily lingered in his heart, a silent muse that inspired his every creation. One crisp autumn afternoon, 10 years after those quiet days of adolescence, Ethan found himself in a bustling cafe in downtown Charleston. The cafe, adorned with rustic decor and the rich aroma of freshly brewed coffee, was a favorite spot for locals seeking a moment of respite. As he sipped his latte, engaged in a lively conversation with colleagues over his phone, something caught his eye through the large front window. There she was, Emily Thompson, now known as Marissa Thompson, serving tables with the same graceful demeanor that had captivated him years ago. Her presence was both familiar and transformed. Her hair, once a cascading dark waterfall, now shimmered with streaks of golden highlights. Though time had etched subtle changes upon her features, the melancholic aura that surrounded her remained unchanged. Ethan's heart raced as he watched her move effortlessly between tables, her every gesture filled with a quiet elegance. He knew she didn't recognize him, not yet, at least. Driven by a surge of courage, he decided to take a chance. Gathering his composure, he approached the counter where Marissa was taking orders. "Excuse me," Ethan began, his voice steady, despite the fluttering in his chest. "Could I get a coffee, please?" Marissa looked up, her eyes meeting his with a fleeting moment of recognition before settling back into her professional composure. "Of course. Would you like that with milk or black?" she asked, her voice soft yet clear. "Black, please," Ethan replied, his mind racing with thoughts of the past decade. As Marissa prepared his order, he couldn't help but feel a connection rekindling, a bridge spanning the years that had kept them apart. As she handed him his coffee, their fingers briefly touched, a spark of familiarity igniting between them. "Thank you," Ethan said, offering a genuine smile. "By the way, I've seen you around here for a while now. You always seem so thoughtful." Marissa returned his smile, a hint of warmth in her eyes. "Thank you. I enjoy the quiet moments here. It helps me think." They settled into a comfortable conversation, talking about everything from the changing seasons to their favorite books. Ethan found himself opening up in ways he never had before, sharing snippets of his life and career, while Marissa revealed her own journey, one marked by resilience and quiet strength. As the evening sun cast a golden glow through the cafe windows, Ethan felt a sense of completion he had longed for since his teenage years. The connection he had once observed from afar had now blossomed into something tangible, something real. As the weeks turned into months, Ethan and Marissa's newfound connection deepened. Their daily conversations at the cafe became the highlight of Ethan's routine, each interaction weaving them closer together. They discovered shared interests in art, literature, and the subtle nuances of everyday life, creating a bond that felt both natural and destined. One chilly winter evening, Ethan invited Marissa to an art exhibit he had organized for his graphic design firm. The gallery was nestled in a trendy part of Charleston, its modern facade a contrast to the traditional charm of the city. Inside, the space was filled with vibrant displays of creativity, each piece telling its own unique story. Ethan led Marissa through the exhibits, his pride evident as he explained the inspiration behind each design. "You've really created something special here, Ethan," Marissa remarked, her eyes lighting up as she admired a particularly striking piece that blended abstract elements with intricate details. "It's amazing to see your passion come to life," Ethan smiled, feeling a warmth spread through him. "I owe a lot of it to the quiet moments I spent watching you. You inspired me more than you know." Marissa looked down, a soft blush coloring her cheeks. "I'm glad to hear that. You've always been so kind and genuine. It's rare to find someone who truly listens." As they wandered through the gallery, their conversations delved deeper into their personal lives. Ethan shared stories of his early struggles and triumphs in the design world, while Marissa opened up about her own challenges and aspirations. They found solace in each other's honesty, the walls they had built over the years beginning to crumble. One evening, as they sat together on a cozy bench outside the cafe, a gentle snowfall began to fall, blanketing the city in a serene, white silence. The lights from the street lamps cast a soft glow around them, creating an intimate atmosphere. "Do you ever think about how different our lives might have been if we hadn't crossed paths?" Ethan mused, his breath visible in the cold air. Marissa nodded, her eyes reflecting the twinkling lights. "All the time. It's funny how fate works, isn't it? Bringing people together when they least expect it." Ethan reached out, gently taking her hand in his. "I'm grateful it did. You've brought so much joy and meaning into my life." Marissa squeezed his hand, a genuine smile gracing her lips. "And you've given me hope and strength. I never imagined that watching from afar would lead to something so beautiful. As the snow continued to fall, they sat in comfortable silence, the world around them hushed and peaceful. In that moment, Ethan realized that the connection he had felt years ago had blossomed into a profound and lasting love. Marissa had become not just his muse, but his partner, someone who understood him in ways he had never imagined. Months passed, and their relationship flourished. They spent weekends exploring Charleston's vibrant art scene, attending gallery openings, and enjoying quiet evenings at home. Ethan's designs became more inspired, infused with the love and support Marissa provided. In turn, Marissa found new confidence and purpose, encouraged by Ethan's unwavering belief in her. One sunny spring day, Ethan decided it was time to take their relationship to the next level. He planned a special outing to one of Charleston's most picturesque parks, known for its blooming cherry blossoms and scenic walking trails. As they strolled hand in hand beneath the canopy of pink flowers, Ethan felt a surge of determination. "Marissa," he began, stopping to face her amidst the fragrant blossoms, "these past few years have been incredible, and I can't imagine my life without you. You've been my inspiration, my confidant, and my greatest support. I want to spend the rest of my life creating memories with you. Will you marry me?" Marissa's eyes welled up with tears of joy as she looked into Ethan's earnest gaze. "Yes, Ethan. Yes, I will." They embraced beneath the cherry blossoms, the petals swirling around them like a delicate dance. It was a moment of pure happiness, a testament to the journey they had undertaken together, from silent observers to partners in life and love. As they walked back to the cafe, now engaged and filled with dreams for the future, Ethan felt a profound sense of fulfillment. The quiet corner where it all began had transformed into a story of love, resilience, and the magic of unexpected connections. Together they were ready to paint the next chapter of their lives, hand in hand, hearts intertwined. As the months turned into years, Ethan and Marissa settled into a life filled with love, creativity, and mutual support. Their wedding was a beautiful celebration in Ethan's Charleston home, surrounded by friends, family, and the art that had brought them together. The cherry blossoms from the park where Ethan proposed were incorporated into their wedding decorations, symbolizing the blossoming of their relationship. Life for Ethan and Marissa was a harmonious blend of professional success and personal fulfillment. Ethan's graphic design firm thrived, attracting clients who admired his unique blend of creativity and precision. Marissa, inspired by Ethan's unwavering support, pursued her own passion for photography. Her keen eye for detail and emotional depth captured moments that resonated deeply with those who viewed her work. One summer afternoon, as they enjoyed a leisurely stroll along the picturesque waterfront park, Marissa shared a thought that had been on her mind for some time. "Ethan, have you ever wondered about the stories that brought us here? About all the moments that led us to each other?" Ethan smiled, taking her hand in his. "I think about it often. Every step, every glance we shared from that window, it all feels like pieces of a puzzle coming together." Marissa nodded, her eyes reflecting the shimmering waters below. "Sometimes I feel like our lives were always meant to intertwine, like two threads woven into the same tapestry." Their conversation drifted to the future, filled with dreams of expanding their creative ventures and perhaps starting a family. They envisioned a life where their passions continued to inspire not only themselves, but also those around them. One evening, Ethan received an invitation to showcase his latest work at a prestigious art festival in New York City. It was an incredible opportunity, one that could elevate his career to new heights. However, it also meant being away from Charleston and, more importantly, from Marissa during a crucial time for her photography business. After much deliberation, Ethan decided to share the news with Marissa. They sat together on their porch, the warm glow of twilight enveloping them. "I've been offered a chance to present my work in New York," Ethan began, his voice tinged with excitement and concern. "It could really take my career to the next level." Marissa listened thoughtfully, understanding the significance of the opportunity. "It's a wonderful chance, Ethan. You've worked so hard for this. But what about us?" Ethan took a deep breath, his eyes meeting hers with sincerity. "I want us to continue growing together. Maybe this is a chance for us to explore new horizons, both personally and professionally." Marissa smiled, feeling a surge of pride and love. "I believe in you, and I believe in us. Let's make it work, no matter the distance." With mutual support and determination, Ethan prepared for his journey to New York while Marissa focused on expanding her photography portfolio. The months apart were challenging, but their love remained steadfast, bridging the physical distance with constant communication and unwavering trust. In New York, Ethan's exhibition was a resounding success. His innovative designs and heartfelt storytelling captivated audiences and critics alike, earning him accolades and new opportunities. Meanwhile, back in Charleston, Marissa's photography gained recognition for its emotional depth and artistic brilliance, leading to gallery showings and a growing clientele. Despite their busy schedules, Ethan and Marissa made it a priority to reunite whenever possible. They explored the vibrant art scenes of both cities, drawing inspiration from their diverse environments. Their relationship flourished, enriched by the experiences and growth they each underwent, individually and together. One autumn day, as they walked through Central Park, now a seasoned couple with shared memories and a deepened bond, Ethan turned to Marissa with a thoughtful expression. "Do you remember the first time we really talked outside of the cafe?" Marissa laughed softly, her eyes twinkling with nostalgia. "How could I forget? It feels like a lifetime ago, yet it was just the beginning of everything." Ethan stopped walking, taking her hands in his. "I've been thinking a lot about our journey, from those silent days of watching each other from afar to building a life filled with love and creativity. It's been incredible." Marissa squeezed his hands gently. "It truly has, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for us." As the seasons changed, so did their lives, each bringing new challenges and triumphs. They welcomed the birth of their first child, a beautiful daughter named Lily, whose laughter and curiosity brought even more joy into their lives. Balancing parenthood with their careers, Ethan and Marissa continued to support and inspire each other, their love growing stronger with each passing day. Years later, Ethan and Marissa decided to combine their creative talents into a joint venture, an art studio that served as a space for collaboration, inspiration, and community. The studio quickly became a beloved hub for local artists, photographers, and designers, fostering a vibrant creative community in Charleston. One evening, as they hosted a gallery opening for their studio, Ethan reflected on their journey. "From that quiet corner in Charleston to where we are now, it's been an incredible adventure." Marissa nodded, her heart full of gratitude. "And it all started with a simple connection, something deeper than words could ever capture." As they stood side by side, watching their friends and fellow artists admire the latest exhibits, Ethan and Marissa knew that their love story was not just their own, but a testament to the power of fate, resilience, and the beauty of unexpected connections. As the years gracefully unfolded, Ethan and Marissa's lives became a tapestry of shared dreams and collaborative endeavors. Their art studio in Charleston thrived, becoming a sanctuary for creativity and a beacon for aspiring artists. The couple often hosted workshops, fostering a community where ideas blossomed and friendships flourished. One crisp autumn evening, as golden leaves danced in the gentle breeze, Ethan received an unexpected invitation. It was an invitation to showcase their collaborative work at the prestigious National Arts Festival. in New York City. This was a significant opportunity, one that could elevate their studio's reputation and open doors to new artistic ventures. However, it also meant more time away from Charleston and the life they had meticulously built together. Ethan shared the news with Marissa as they sat together in their cozy living room, surrounded by canvases and photographs that told their story. "This is incredible, Marissa," Ethan said, his eyes shining with excitement. "It's a chance to reach a wider audience and connect with artists from all over the country." Marissa smiled, though a hint of apprehension flickered in her eyes. "It is a wonderful opportunity, Ethan, but it will be a big change for us. Charleston is our home." Ethan reached out, gently taking her hand. "I know, but I believe in us and our ability to adapt. This could be the next chapter in our story, expanding our horizons while staying true to our roots." After thoughtful consideration, they decided to seize the opportunity. Preparations began in earnest, with Ethan designing new pieces and Marissa curating a selection of her most evocative photographs. Their collaboration was seamless, each complementing the other's strengths and inspiring new creative heights. The day of departure arrived, and Charleston bid them farewell with heartfelt goodbyes from friends and fellow artists. As they boarded the plane, Ethan felt a mix of excitement and nervousness, while Marissa found comfort in Ethan's unwavering support. New York City greeted them with its vibrant energy and endless possibilities. The National Arts Festival was a whirlwind of activity, with artists from every corner of the nation showcasing their work. Ethan and Marissa's exhibit quickly gained attention, drawing admirers with its unique blend of graphic design and poignant photography. One evening, after a long day of showcasing their work, Ethan and Marissa found themselves on the rooftop of their temporary apartment, gazing out at the city skyline illuminated against the night sky. "I can't believe how far we've come," Marissa mused, leaning into Ethan's embrace. "From that quiet street in Charleston to the heart of New York's art scene." Ethan nodded, his gaze fixed on the twinkling lights below. "It's been an incredible journey, and it feels like we're just getting started." As the festival continued, their bond only grew stronger. They met fellow artists, exchanged ideas, and found inspiration in the diversity of creative expression around them. The experience broadened their perspectives, infusing their work with new dimensions and deeper meanings. One day, while exploring a renowned gallery, Marissa stumbled upon a piece that seemed to resonate deeply with her. It was a painting of a serene street reminiscent of the quiet neighborhood where she and Ethan had first connected. The artist's signature, however, was unfamiliar. Intrigued, Marissa approached the gallery curator. "Excuse me, who is the artist of this piece?" The curator looked up, appreciation evident in her eyes. "That's Alexander Hart, one of the emerging talents from the festival. His work often reflects personal journeys and profound connections." Marissa felt a strange sense of familiarity as she studied the painting. The street was strikingly similar to Charleston's waterfront park, where Ethan had proposed. She couldn't shake the feeling that there was more to this discovery. Later that evening, back at their apartment, Marissa shared her find with Ethan. "Look at this painting. It's beautiful, but it feels personal. Almost like it's depicting a place we know well." Ethan examined the artwork, a realization dawning on him. "It does resemble our park. I wonder what inspired him to create something so specific." Driven by curiosity, they decided to meet Alexander Hart. The next day, they attended one of his workshops, eager to learn more about the artist behind the evocative piece. Alexander was a charismatic man in his early 40s, with a passion for capturing the essence of human connections through his art. After the workshop, Ethan and Marissa approached him, introducing themselves and expressing their admiration for his work. "Thank you," Alexander replied warmly. "I'm glad you connected with my painting. It was inspired by a place that holds a lot of meaning for me." Marissa felt a sudden connection, a thread weaving their stories together. It's incredible how art can capture such personal moments. Do you have a story behind this particular piece? Alexander smiled, a hint of nostalgia in his eyes. "Yes, it's based on a park where I spent many evenings with someone special. It represents not just the place, but the emotions and memories tied to it." As they conversed, Marissa felt an uncanny sense of recognition. There was something familiar about Alexander, something that tugged at the edges of her memory. Ethan noticed her distant gaze and followed her line of thought. "Do you know each other?" Ethan asked gently. Marissa hesitated, then decided to share her feelings. "Not personally, but there's something about your painting that feels like it's part of our story." Alexander looked thoughtful, as if piecing together a puzzle. "Is that so? Art has a way of connecting people in unexpected ways." The conversation continued, and Marissa couldn't shake the feeling that Alexander was somehow linked to their past. As the evening progressed, she found herself sharing snippets of her life in Charleston, her journey with Ethan, and the origins of their art studio. Alexander listened intently, his eyes reflecting a deep understanding. "Your story is inspiring. It reminds me of how art can transcend time and space, bringing people together in the most unforeseen ways." As they parted ways that night, Marissa felt a lingering sense of déjà vu. She couldn't fully explain it, but something told her that Alexander Hart was more than just an emerging artist. They were connected in ways she was only beginning to understand. Back in Charleston, the couple continued to thrive, their bond strengthened by their experiences in New York. Yet the encounter with Alexander Hart remained a mystery, a puzzle waiting to be unraveled. Little did they know the threads of their past were about to intertwine with their present, leading them on a journey that would redefine their understanding of love, destiny, and the enduring power of art. As the weeks turned into months, Ethan and Marissa found themselves increasingly intrigued by their encounter with Alexander Hart. The mysterious connection they felt was both unsettling and captivating, prompting them to delve deeper into his background and the significance of his artwork. One evening, while poring over local art directories and online profiles, Ethan stumbled upon an article about Alexander Hart. It revealed that Alexander was a reclusive artist who had gained acclaim for his emotionally charged paintings, but had largely withdrawn from the public eye following a personal tragedy. The article mentioned that his latest works were inspired by profound personal experiences, but details were scarce. Determined to uncover more, Ethan suggested they visit Alexander's personal studio, located in a quiet neighborhood on the outskirts of Charleston. Marissa agreed, sensing that there was more to their connection than mere coincidence. The following Saturday, they drove to the address listed in the article. The studio was housed in a charming ivy-covered cottage with large windows that allowed natural light to flood the interior. As they approached, Ethan felt a mixture of anticipation and nervousness. They knocked on the wooden door, which was promptly opened by an elderly man with silver hair and kind eyes. "Hello," Ethan greeted warmly. "We're here to see Alexander Hart. My name is Ethan Parker, and this is Marissa Thompson." The man smiled gently. "I'm Thomas Hart, Alexander's brother. He's not been very active lately, but he's expecting you. Please, come in." Inside the studio was a sanctuary of creativity. Canvases adorned the walls, each telling a story through vibrant colors and intricate brushstrokes. In the center of the room stood Alexander Hart himself, a man in his early 40s with a contemplative demeanor and an air of quiet strength. "Welcome," Alexander greeted them, extending his hand. "I'm glad you could make it." Ethan and Marissa introduced themselves and explained their fascination with his paintings, particularly the one that mirrored their own lives. Alexander listened intently, his eyes reflecting a depth of emotion. "It's unusual to meet people who feel such a strong connection to my work," Alexander admitted. Art has a way of bridging gaps between souls, sometimes in ways we don't fully understand. Marissa stepped forward, her curiosity piqued. Your painting of the serene street, it's almost identical to Waterfront Park in Charleston, where Ethan proposed. How is that possible? Alexander's expression softened. Waterfront Park holds a special place in my heart. It was the site of a significant moment in my life, one that inspired much of my recent work. But I'm not sure how our paths have crossed in this way. Ethan felt a chill run down his spine. We met at the National Arts Festival in New York. Your painting felt personal, like it was depicting a place that means something to us. Alexander nodded thoughtfully. Sometimes art captures not just a scene, but the emotions and memories tied to it. Perhaps there's a deeper connection here, something beyond the canvas. As the evening progressed, the three of them shared stories of their artistic journeys, discovering parallels and shared experiences that bound them together in unexpected ways. Marissa revealed her struggles and triumphs in photography, while Ethan discussed his evolution in graphic design and their collaborative studio. Alexander opened up about the personal tragedy that had driven him to retreat from the art world, a loss that had left an indelible mark on his soul.